Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. We know what this looks like. We're not Disney haters. We're actually, on the contrary, Disney lovers. We want them to succeed, we want them to do well. It just seems lately leadership is guiding them in a rudderless direction here. That being said, if you missed our last Disney rant, you can check for the link in the description. We came across some interesting attendance numbers, and we have some things we'd like to discuss.
All right, so let's take a look here.
Pull up the reports, Reg.
All right, so just to get an idea of things, let's start with the Magic Kingdom, July 2019, before pandemic. These were the numbers in July. Very busy almost every single day. We're seeing lots of 80%, 90% capacity here. All right, and fast forward to 2023, 2020, 2021, 2022. That data is not going to be ideal because of, well, you know what.
The data on our life isn't real during those years either, so we're just going to pretend they don't exist.
All right, so July 2023, definitely down, that's for sure, but still seeing lots of orange here, 79%, 88%, lots of 50s and 60s, all right. So attendance definitely down from 2019. Now let's check 2024. Look at all that green. This is the Magic Kingdom this July. 38% on the 4th of July capacity. There was nobody there on the 4th of July.
That's just un-American.
And then the week after, and the week after. Everything in the future here is, those are just predictions, so don't worry about that. All right, so Magic Kingdom, yep. Let's check Epcot. Epcot in July 2024. 2% capacity on July 3rd. 2% capacity on July 3rd. There was nobody at Epcot on July 3rd. That sounds like a great day to go, actually.
More cast members than attendees.
It seems like it. Wow. All right, so yeah, just for comparison, we'll go back to 2019 here for Epcot as well. We don't need to go through every year for every park, but a lot more attendance back then. Hollywood Studios 2019. Lots of orange, lots of 70s and 80s. 4th of July seems like a good day to go.
It does.
I think maybe so many people think it's going to be packed
It
that
scares them.
it scares them, and then it ends up not being packed at all. So, yeah. Pro tip, 4th of July, if you want to go to Disney, it'll be empty. Besides Epcot, because they have their spectacular fireworks there. So yeah, here on 2024, all green. Nobody at Hollywood Studios whatsoever.
Not a soul.
And just for fun, why not? We'll check out the Animal Kingdom as well. All right, 2024, nobody there. 2019, a lot more people there, as you can see. So yeah, it's just like a quick little graphic to show you just like how much less attendance there is at Disney now, just compared to a few years ago. And now let's take a look at Universal, which should be down if you think about it. They're opening up a brand new theme park next year, so you figured like everybody, like including us, holding off our Universal vacation until next year when the new theme park is open. Makes sense, right?
Makes sense.
All right, so let's take a look at Universal and Islands of Adventure. All right, so we have Universal Studios Florida here in 2019. I'm seeing some yellow, some orange. Seems decent capacity, like halfway, 50% most of the time. Okay, top that up to 2023. And Universal Studios has gotten much busier over the years. More busy now than before the pandemic. Can't say that for Disney.
No siree.
And just for fun, let's go to 2024. We'll show you right here. Again, lots of yellow and orange, 50s, 60s, 70s. Nowhere near as bad as Disney. You'd expect Disney to be doing better than Universal this year because, like I just said, new theme park next year. Everyone's holding off their Universal trips until next year. So, what's going on? All right, switch over to Islands of Adventure, 2019. Lots of orange, lots of red, very busy Islands of Adventure. 2019 was a big year for Islands of Adventure with the opening of Hagrid's, if you guys remember that. Quite the roller coaster. All right, 2023, down a bit for sure, but still lots of 70s, I see some 80s here. Pretty good attendance still, for sure. And finally, to this year, 2024. Down a bit, as you'd expect, but still nowhere near Disney levels. Like, actually, I would say this is a much higher attendance than I would have expected for Islands of Adventure right now.
Given the circumstances.
Exactly,
yes,
yeah. So even when they're opening a brand new theme park next year, which would make sense for a lot of families to put off their Universal vacation until next year, they're still crushing Disney right now. So yeah, they're not doing bad at all. They're actually doing better than I thought they would right now, honestly. Definitely better than Disney. And you know why? Because they're still investing in these older parks while they're building the new one as well.
Universal just opened the DreamWorks Land, kind of lazily done, but still somewhere for the kids to go. They've got a new drone show over the lagoon, that's pretty cool, and a new Mega Movie Parade, which also looks pretty awesome.
The Mega Movie Parade looks awesome.
So even with a brand new park on the horizon, Universal is still outworking Disney at their other parks. So why is attendance down at Disney World? We've got a few guesses.
We sure do. Start with the rides. The new rides don't work.
That's a big one.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Tron seem to be down more than they are operational. I'm still unsure why they had to change the entire ride system on Splash Mountain. I think they could have rethemed it without changing the entire ride system.
Agreed.
Like, was the ride system racist too?
Maybe.
I don't understand. And as far as Tron goes, that's just a clone from a 2016 roller coaster built in China. Like, there's no new technology here. It's all been done before. Like, why is this ride having so much downtime? During our March trip there, we actually didn't get to ride it because of this.
Yep. That was really just the one downside, the one major downside of our day at Magic Kingdom.
Overall, we did have a pretty good day, so don't get us wrong there. But yeah, we did miss out on Tron. If you haven't seen that vlog, you can check that out in the description below as well. And the fact that these rides don't have standby queues is even worse. So it's like when it goes down and you have your virtual queue booked and it's past your time, you're not getting on. It's not going to happen. That's what happened to us. Like, if the guests want to wait in line for 3 hours, let them wait.
Exactly. It's frustrating. We felt like we did everything right and we still weren't able to get on it. We jumped through all the hoops, which there are hoops, and still, no ride. Maybe the experience just isn't worth the ticket price anymore. Guests are no longer getting the same value as they did pre-pandemic. When we think back on our trip a few months ago, we had a blast, but we don't think that the cost of what we paid really equates to the amount of fun we had.
Yeah, I was having fun throughout the entire day, don't get me wrong or anything, but like in the back of my mind, I'm just like,
This was so expensive.
is this all adding up correctly?
No. The answer. Disney has removed so many amenities.
And using COVID as an excuse for that too.
Still, I mean, I understand immediately after and maybe the next following years, but it's 2024 and that shouldn't be an excuse any longer.
We're pretty far removed. Yeah.
I can't use that as an excuse at work anymore. They've removed Magic Express, which they need to bring back out of convenience.
And to compete with Universal, yeah, that's, if you don't know, Magical Express, that's the bus system that takes you from the airport to your resort and back just like that. So you don't have to worry about getting a car, transportation. Disney brings you in. They make sure you stay there the entire time. They bring you back.
They used to be there for you start to finish on your vacation, and now it's kind of like, you're on your own. One more thing they took away was daily housekeeping, except for in deluxe resorts, which is pretty crazy. I mean, you can go to a two-star hotel and get that kind of service.
Yeah, this is like Disney we're talking about. You're paying thousands of dollars for like a resort room and you can't get daily housekeeping.
You're not going to make my bed. I'm not going to get a clean towel.
I mean, it's not a huge deal for us, but like a bigger family or something like that. Like, this is Disney. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry. And when you are paying a premium price, you should get a premium service.
They also took their free Fast Pass system and turned it into the mess that was Genie Plus, and now they're changing it again into like the Multiverse Pass or something like that. I think it's called the Multi-Lane Lightning Lane and Single Lane Lightning Lane now. It's just so dumb.
It rolls off the tongue.
Right. We understand that like every theme park and amusement park's Fast Pass system is an upcharge, but this one is just ridiculous. Like, you're just forced to be glued to your phone all day long, messing around with like return times and like, if the ride you had booked goes down and now you're like in a battle to like figure out like, do I drop that one for something else or do I hold on to it? Do I not? Like, it's crazy. And you shouldn't have to be worrying these things at a theme park when you're trying to have fun.
It's unnecessary stress. Yeah, and it really takes away from the experience.
And like older people who might not be so tech savvy, who can't use this app that well, like I'm thinking of like my parents or something, like they're screwed. They cannot experience the parks. Like,
and they're also, I'm sorry, the people who have money are older people too. And it's like, and now they can't even navigate the app if they wanted to. The surge of people wanting to travel after the pandemic may be affecting the attendance as well. People were very eager to travel the years after being stuck inside for so long. So now the excitement of getting out of the house is kind of dying down again. And we've all realized that we're like mega broke. So that's an issue.
And Disney is quite expensive.
Yeah.
And this is like another little small tidbit here. Like, we wouldn't say the parks are dirty by any means at all, but when we were there in March, I did notice like a few garbage cans were like overflowing. There's like a lot of popcorn on the ground in certain places like that. Like, this isn't really a huge deal for us or anything. We go to Six Flags all the time where it's a million times worse, obviously. But Disney should be held to a higher standard, I think. Our Six Flags all park pass that gets us into every single one of them for the entire year is cheaper than a one-day ticket to Disney World. So I'll put that into perspective.
Exactly. We shouldn't be seeing trash on the grounds for those prices.
It should be held to a higher standard.
There were very minimal decorations for the 4th of July celebration, and the fireworks show was about 7 minutes long at the Magic Kingdom, which is like kind of bonkers. It's like they were anticipating low attendance from the get-go, and they're like, well, let's just like not even put in effort here. And again, I'm sorry, Disney cannot do that. As we've said, we're going to say it again, they should be held to a higher standard. We expect premium stuff when we go to these parks.
Yeah, because the people who did go on July 4th, expecting it to be decorated and an amazing fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, did not get the experience that they deserved.
This was their big summer vacation. They've been planning it probably for a long time since it was on a holiday. And they go and Disney was kind of just like, we weren't expecting anyone, sorry.
Yeah, some people, they only get to go to Disney a few times in their life. Some people, once in their life. Like, this could have been the trip. And for them to just not even care. On top of that, there's no Epcot Festival this summer. The Flower and Garden Festival usually goes deep into summer, like the end of July, early August, and it ended in May this year. They just built this Communicore Hall thing, which looks like a glorified cafeteria. Not even, just a cafeteria. And they put an Encanto sing-along show right outside of it. Outside of it. In the heat of summer. Like, isn't the design of Epcot, like, wasn't it designed so that it had all these indoor pavilions to give guests a way of, like, escaping the heat?
Exactly, an innovative way to feel like you're part of the future.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not going to use this Communicore Hall until Food and Wine Fest starts, which is at the end of August. And this Encanto show is scheduled to go till right about the same time, like the first week of September. Put the stage inside, let people come in and enjoy the air conditioning instead of standing outside in 100-degree heat, just watching these poor cast members just dance themselves to death. Like,
no one wants to see that.
Right? Like, what are you guys doing? It's like they don't know where their theme parks are located.
Yeah, I know. It's beyond lazy and it's just like inept at this point. With all that being said, it does seem like Disney is getting a bit desperate. Good to go days are being offered in July now, even on the weekends. For those of you who don't know, good to go days are for when pass holders do not need to make a reservation to get into the park. They can just go in.
You don't ever see these kind of good to go days in July and the heavy summer months.
Very rare.
Yeah, you usually don't see these until like early September.
So it seems like they're basically begging people to come into the parks now.
They are literally begging people to come into their parks. Yeah, like they really shun their pass holders, but like when the park attendance gets low, it's just like, please come back. We love you so much. Come back. Buy some stuff.
We're sorry, baby. We won't do it again. They will. They always do.
On top of that, now they're offering like a 3-day, 3-park ticket package and a 4-day, 4-park ticket package, which gets you like each day comes to a little more than about $100 roughly, which is still like really expensive, but for Disney costs, like not that expensive actually.
The most reasonable we've seen it in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And for the holiday season, they're offering discounts up to 30% on hotel rooms. This is unheard of. Disney does not struggle with getting people into their resorts during the holiday season, but it seems like they're thinking this year they might. So yeah, I think they're really getting into panic mode here.
Well, because Christmas is right around the corner for those planning it, so I'm sure they're seeing less reservations than they have in a really long time.
Yeah, usually by now they'd be like close to book probably, and they're like noticing like, wow, people are not booking.
They're not coming here, for Christmas.
You have to give discounts during Christmas. Can't imagine what that feels like for them.
Exactly.
So yeah, with all these little aspects of decline just adding on top of each other, one after the other, like you can see why Disney's attendance is seriously struggling here. Between the high prices, the diminished experience, the garbage fast pass system, not caring about the consumer or their cast members, like these things add up, and this is why their attendance is in the sewers.
Yep, exactly.
And it's going to continue to go that way.
What was your last Disney experience like? Do you think some of these aspects affected your trip?
Were you there like pre-pandemic and again after? Like, did you see like a big change? Because there's been a big change.
There has been a big change. And I feel bad for people who have experienced it only post-pandemic. I mean, it's so much different than what it was. I feel like the golden age of Disney when we were growing up has really changed a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a dying product, unfortunately. I really hope they can turn it around here.
Listen to your consumers.
Please. Universal does. Yeah. And they are killing it. It's just really unfortunate stuff. And at the end of the day, we want Disney to succeed. Like, we grew up loving Disney. Like, it's just...
Exactly. We want to feel that magic in the parks again.
Yeah. Sad stuff. Hopefully they can get it together.
We have faith. They just need enough, I guess, fear to fix it themselves, which we see is ramping up a bit, I guess.
D23 is coming up. Y'all better have something.
Show us what you got.
Yeah, let us know if you agree with our points, disagree, did we miss anything here? Is Kathleen Kennedy to blame for the collapse of Star Wars? I don't know, you tell me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.